Well, g'day there, guys. Thanks for joining me. This is part three of a three-part series analyzing and looking at individual trade setups. So if you're looking for additional trades after this individual video, have a look at the previous two. There is, of course, a part two and also a part one. So before we get into the analysis, there is, well, I do believe Berkshire Hathaway we covered before. I need to exclude this from the current trade list. And that's really it. So there's really only 8 symbols instead of 9 on this final part 3 watch list. So I'll begin this recording with DAL, or ticker symbol DAL, which is Delta Airlines. Now, Delta Airlines is set up really nicely for a directional move. It doesn't matter if it moves above $36.71 or below $31.80. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. The thing is, though, however, we have earnings coming up in approximately, what date is it? The 23rd. So that is 10 days away. It is Wednesday week. So if you are triggered into this bearish trade, which appears to be what's going to happen in all likelihood, keep an eye on earnings. Hopefully it'll be a fast transition down to 29.59. That is our target on DAL. We do have what we call a bit of a double top. The candlesticks are all very bearish. We have a bearish engulfing. We have almost like a spinning top candlestick, but a very long upper wick, telling us that there is a lot of selling pressure with DAL. So a very nice trade setup to begin with. Let's move into Ford. Ticker symbol F, Ford Motors. Fantastic breakout about 2 weeks ago, traded right up to a resistance level. We exited these positions, then reset the trade up at $16.70. Let me undo that. I just brought up a new resistance line. 16.70 didn't trigger. That's okay. And what's happened is that we've just pulled back down to old resistance as new support. This is really going to go one of two ways. We're either going to break out and bounce off support, or break down and trade down to resistance or down to support. So at the moment, there's no real good structure with the trade, so I'm going to leave it, and I'll address it later in the week if something better, approaches in the way of trade setup. I don't want to place any loose trades moving into this week's trading session after such a fantastic trading week last week. So what we'll do, we'll move into GT. This is the Goodyear Tire Company. Now this is set up really nicely. We've made a high, a lower high, another lower high, and another lower high. So you can see really the momentum is starting to shift from an upward moving trend into what we call a bearish move. Now, will we break below 24.52? In all likelihood, yes, we probably will. But unfortunately, again, it's that time of year when we have earnings. So please, if you get triggered, exit before earnings. Mitigate your risk. Sort of cash in on a little bit of Vega volatility. It sort of offsets the theta this time of year because the option sellers are inflating the sort of premium, right, in the way of the option, which you can capitalize on if you sell just before, obviously, the earnings announcement. So GT looks good. The same with DAL, but again, you're fighting that earnings announcement, which is a bummer. HPQ has been an absolute killer trade. We've caught breakout after breakout. Again, we're getting a little bit of reversal signals taking place up about this $33 level. We do have a short-term double top, but it's nothing really significant to be getting overly bearish. What I'll do for you instead is simply bring this trigger up and move it up to about $34.43 a share. If in fact we break above here, we'll be trading up to resistance at about $37 a share, right? So that's really the trade on HPQ. No bearish trade in the face of a bullish moving share, all right? You get absolutely slaughtered trading into or shorting into the 50, because what happens is that you just get a bounce and it moves against you and it's painful. So until you break that 50, or until you break the swing lows or the old resistance levels, which are now going to act as support, keep a bullish perspective on the stock and just trade the all-time breakout or the all-time high. Very simple but very profitable type of trade strategy to look at in this type of market. Now here's LVS. LVS again really looks to be tanking. We've got a high, we've got a lower high, and now a lower high, and we're really just holding on to this last little bit of support here. Right, ultimately, the trade is simple. If we break below here, about $73.19, then the next target is going to be down here, approximately $71 a share. So there's a quick little $2 move just here, but really where the risk reward starts to look much more appealing is if we break that first support level. Our second target is down here at about $68 a share. All right, so that makes it a lot more enticing for us. Is it enough to be carried away with? Maybe. But I do want some additional analysis on LVS. What I mean by that is I want some additional inside day candlesticks and then to set the 73.38 trade up. At the moment, it's a little bit flimsy, a little bit clumsy, and I don't want to get whipsawed. All right, so LVS is coming to us. It's not there yet. It will be soon. NSC, beginning to break down. We have a bidirectional trade set up, 98.31 and also 91.97, very close to the 91.97 trade. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. Looks really, really good. Trading down to support at $90.10. Oracle again tanking. Looked like we were getting some form of a little bit of a bull flag. Pardon me, wrong one. A bull flag here. But that's absolutely broken down. We were expecting a bounce, but now we're starting to break down. All in all, a little bit of a double top, not too much, but really the best entry in the way of a bearish entry is 37.18. It'll be below the 50, below support, and below the swing low established over here in March. So a really good trade entry at $37.18 in Oracle, trading down to our support at $35.90, which coincides with the low in February 2014. Finishing off with TJX. This is one of my favorite trades from last week. Very profitable trade for us. Entry was right here. Let me just do it for us right at this support level. We had two nice little licks or lower wicks down here. You saw the bearish candlestick on Thursday and you've got the continuation on Friday. Ultimate target 56.12. If you're in it, congratulations. If you're not, just leave it off the table. We'll get to it in the future. All right, so TJX, a very profitable share. Looks to be moving down to our ultimate support level down here. So just be patient on it. Earnings is quite a ways away, so there is enough time to hold on to this individual trade setup. So all the best, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this part 3 of 3. That coincides and concludes our weekend analysis update for the ETFs, the markets, and also these individual shares. Thank you so much for your time. If you want to learn how to do this, have a look at our site, pivotpoint-trading. Register for a free scholarship and learn how to do it. All the best, everyone. Goodbye.